Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from Alyssa's Bake Shop, and today I'm going to show you how to make these black cat cookies with standing sugar. While the sugar cookies are cooling, I'm going to be making our royal icing. So the great thing about this design is that we only need two colors, but I am using flooding consistency for our black icing, and then I'm going to be using stiff consistency for our bright green icing. The reason why I'm using two different ones is because when we use flood consistency, it covers cookies a lot quicker and we avoid things like hand cramps. And then when we use a stiff consistency, we're able to pipe little tiny details like cat's eyes. I'm using AmeriColor Food Gel today. This is my favorite brand and I use it in basically every video that I post. And I have tried the other food gels, but so far AmeriColor is still my number one. And the two colors I'm using today are Super Black and Electra Green. And here you can see that the icing is a lot stiffer. I also don't have as much icing as the black icing because I'm just piping some little cat eyes, so I didn't need to mix as much. And one tip I have is put your piping bag into a tall glass, and this will really be a lot easier to get your icing in. And then just tie the bag when you're done, and now we're ready to pipe. Once your sugar cookies are completely cool, now it's time to pipe and decorate, and this is my absolute favorite part. Mixing icing is actually not my favorite part. I really try to enjoy it, but mixing icing takes a lot of work. I'm going to just outline our cookie and then I'm going to flood it in. A lot of times you might see tutorials where they use a stiffer consistency to outline and then they use a flood icing to fill. And that's a pretty typical way to fill a cookie. However, since we're going to cover the whole cookie with sprinkles, it's not really necessary to have those two different types of icing, at least not in my opinion. But what you do want to make sure is that you are putting enough icing on and distributing it evenly because you will be able to see craters if you don't. I'm going to just decorate a few more cookies and let you guys just enjoy the music. Now that all of the cat cookies are iced, I'm using my scribe tool to poke some holes to just kind of see where they're at. So we don't want to dip our sugar cookies ASAP after you've iced it. Otherwise, the standing sugar is just going to kind of melt and run off the cookie, especially because flood icing is very thin and that extra weight from the sprinkles isn't going to help us out. So you can see that it's left dense and it's not going back into itself, which means it's stiff enough to dip. So I would give it like 1 to 2 minutes, and the best thing is if you just ice your cookies, then you can dip them in that order that you ice them. So the first one will be the driest, then the second, then the third, etc. I'm just using some really simple black standing sugar. I can put a link for where I got it below, and I'm just dipping the cookie in, making sure to get all of those sides. Because this cookie shape is a little bit there's some little nooks and crannies, I wanted to just make sure it got everything. And then to put your sugar back in, all you need is a funnel and it's really super easy. For the eyes, I put the green icing in a piping bag and I cut the tip pretty small. And then I just piped them on, but it was kind of a little frustrating just because the sprinkles make the icing a little bit trickier to work with because it's not sticking really to the sprinkles, but you could use a toothpick or a scribe tool to just kind of shape them a little more. And then I dipped a scribe tool in some black icing, and then this is going to make our eye. So I thought that using the scribe tool, or again a toothpick, is a lot easier and you have more control than trying to pipe a little eyeball directly on. So that's why I recommend dipping your toothpick into the black icing and then just kind of dragging it up. So you want to stick the little black dot in the center of the green icing and then you just want to drag it up. And it's kind of fun to make these eyes, and if it's giving you a little bit of trouble or they're uneven, you can always go back and add more icing. Let the cookies dry for at least 12 hours or overnight before packaging or serving. Thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.